I'm back again. We're here to talk about shape today. Our lesson is going to be a little bit of practice today because the next time I put up a video, we're going to be talking about how to apply these shapes to make something awesome. But first, let's learn. Now, if you've never been in my class or your kids have never told you about art moves, you should know that every time we have a new concept, we do art moves along with it. It helps your brain kind of stack up and remember things in a much better way. So the shapes that we're talking about today, they can only be categorized into two different areas, geometric and organic. So whenever we talk about geometric, you're gonna go geometric, kind of like a robot, because I imagine geometric shapes a lot like a robot, all pieced together with rectangles, squares, and circles, but we'll get to the definition in just a second. Then, when we do organic, are you ready for this? Organic. Yes, it's super silly, but we're all doing it together, so it makes it a little bit fun, and you'll be able to remember it. So number one, a shape can be defined by any line that starts, goes around, and connects back to itself. It's a closed-in space. Geometric shapes are pretty much shapes that we've already all seen before. We've already met them. They have perfect sides. They're things like your circle, square, oval, rectangle, and those kind of things. Geometry shapes. But freeform or organic shapes are shapes that are made up, and you're seeing them more or less in nature, like the shape of a leaf or coral or things like that. So I want to show you a couple of examples of geometric shapes, just so we have a good idea of what we're talking about. So we're talking about things like triangle, circle, rectangle, square, and so on. There are many other shapes that you can do that are geometric shapes. The other one I want to introduce is a half circle. Okay? They all have regular sides. They can all be measured. We've seen them kind of before in most of our schoolwork. Okay? So the other one is organic. Now the organic shapes are kind of my favorite because it's a free-for-all. They're also called freeform shapes, and they're basically just made-up shapes. So I want to show you a couple of ideas. The possibilities are infinite. There's so many possibilities. Here are just a couple that I'm going to make up for you right now. So we can do just sort of we can use some of our lines. A wiggly line, this would be an organic shape. If I think about coral and all of its irregular lines, this is an organic shape. So really, organic shapes can be pretty much anything, but they don't all have to only have soft sides. That's the thing that a lot of students will ask me. Well, if it's a zigzag line, is that geometric? No, I'm not sure why we think that way, but a zigzag line can completely make another organic shape. So even if the shapes are kind of geometric in nature, like they have hard edges, that's totally still an organic shape. If you can see the difference, these are the ones that we have kind of learned about, we already know about, and then these are the ones that are made up. Now, for today's lesson, I wanted you to practice drawing with our organic and geometric shapes. Now, if you are following along on my Facebook page, I would really like to see what you come up with. But I want you to practice doing something very familiar. You're going to draw something very, very familiar, and that is you. Okay? So I want you to kind of begin to think about shapes in the way that it would look if we were drawing a person. So I'm going to walk through a couple of them, and then maybe you can name some of them while I'm drawing as well. Okay? So here we have our classic oval. This will be for my noggin. And it's a little off to the side. You know what? If your drawing isn't perfect the first time, I'm always going to tell you to problem solve and keep going. Do not crumple up your paper and start over. Pretend that you can only have one chance and one piece of paper like you would in art class. So you're going to have to stop, think, and problem solve if you make a mark you don't like. So my oval is a little crooked. I'm just going to keep going with it. No problem at all. So the next shape that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do my eyes. See those? All right, so my eyes, I'm just gonna kind of do as ovals again. This is a quick drawing. I think I gotta switch sides. Here we go. Now we're gonna do an organic shape for our nose. Ready? Ooh, Mrs. Fred, you got a big nose in that drawing. Ooh, that's quite all right. And keep those comments to yourself. The next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a look at maybe my eyebrows. I missed my eyebrows when I was beginning to draw my eyes. So I'm gonna do long triangles, and triangles are geometric. So here we go. Ooh, Mrs. Fred, you got some big eyebrows today. That is all right. Now inside my eye, I'm gonna need the pupil and the iris. If you can see that, my eyes are greenish blue, but I have that big black dot in the middle. So here we go. I'm gonna start with the iris, and I'm just gonna do 2 curved lines on each side. So it looks like I've drawn an oval in there. And then I'm gonna put a dot in the middle. Now it's a little hard because I'm drawing on a chalkboard, but I'll show you my idea just like this, and you can do yours on paper and be able to erase. A mouth, you can do any shape you want for a mouth. You can get really silly. You can do rectangle mouth like a robot. You can do lips, which is just the top of a heart and then a soft curve. But there are many, many, many other shapes that you can do. You could even do an oval with a line through the middle. Doesn't matter. Have fun with this. Do a few different self-portraits with shapes. And then also you can fold your paper into 4s so it feels like you have 4 sections to draw in, and you can practice 4 different faces with a million different shapes. All right, so I think I'm gonna do an organic mouth. I'm gonna do some loops. Okay, and I'm gonna add a few details with lines, like some diagonal lines for my eyelashes. Whoo, I'm missing my most famous mark, so I'm gonna put that little guy on there. And let's see. Oh, I'm missing these things. These things that you are hearing me with. What are they? Ears. Yes. So for ears, you can do a variety of shapes. I'm gonna choose to do organic. So here we go. Just gonna do kind of a loose backwards, or a loose 3 and a loose backwards 3. Look at, oh, Mrs. Fred, you got some big ears today. Nice. Okay, now I'm gonna do some line design for my hair. I'm gonna do wavy lines, and I'm just gonna start off like this. When I do this wavy line, that's kind of like my bangs. When I do this wavy line, it creates a new shape, and that creates an organic shape. Well, I'm gonna do an outline like this with a big organic shape like that. Woo, Mrs. Fred, you got big hair today. There we go. And then in here, if I create some extra lines that are wavy, I will get even more organic shapes in there. All right, I'm pretty happy with this. So I'm gonna stop. Oh, I need a neck. Right now my head is floating in outer space. Oh, and I do not want to do that. So I'm gonna do a rectangle neck. Super easy, and it's a geometric. So here we go. Down, down, over, and then I'm just gonna do a curved line for some shoulders. Real quick, real simple. It's not a realistic self-portrait. It's abstract, but it's super fun. Now, the one thing I forgot about is how I like to define self-portrait in my class. So we get a little bit of a crazy voice, and we say it like this: self-portrait. And then Mrs. Fred will ask, what is a self-portrait? And then we do this. It's a picture of me made by me. And then we all have a good laugh about it. And that's how we help to remember what these terms are and what they mean. So I hope you have a good time practicing your geometric and organic shapes. And I want to see any of you, if you can put it on my Facebook page, which is right on the web, you can show me what you've done. And then the next video, we're going to use these shapes again, but in a little bit different way. Okay? So I love you. I miss you. Please be good, be kind, be patient, and we will see each other very soon.